It turns out Bluey's world is packed with inside jokes and hidden nods that reveal themselves only if you're paying attention. 1. The pantry is the long dog's lair. During a fast-paced scene in a mini-episode, Bingo makes a terrifying face that sends her parents fleeing into the pantry. But if you pause the moment and look around, you'll notice something strange hiding among the jars. A long dog, curled up like it belongs there. It's not just a silly Easter egg this time. The pantry is dark, closed off, and packed with quiet corners, almost like a den. What if this isn't just another random appearance? What if it lives there, watching everything from behind the spices? Maybe the long dog isn't just hiding, it's nesting in plain sight. 2. Hidden numbers everywhere. Take a close look at Bandit's car plate. It reads 419HLR. Looks normal at first, right? But here's the twist. 419 is the exact color code for Bluey's fur. That means someone on the animation team slipped in a secret only design nerds would catch. And it doesn't stop with the car. Boats, signs, random background object. They all hide these weird number clues. It's like the entire Bluey world is speaking in code while the healers run around clueless. Maybe it's harmless, or maybe Bluey's world is built on secrets we were never meant to see. 3. The dog that never leaves. There is a long, stretched-out dog hiding somewhere in every single episode. It shows up behind couches, peeks from toy piles, even lurks in random corners like it owns the place. No one talks about it. The characters never notice. Yet there it is, watching everything, episode after episode, as if it knows something we don't. Maybe it is just a running joke from the animators. Or maybe this plastic dog is the true ruler of Bluey's world, silently judging while chaos unfolds. Next time you watch, try to spot it. But be warned, it is always looking back. 4. Bandit's birthday exposed. Blink and you miss it. In the episode Brownie Bear, Bandit flashes his driver's license for barely a second, but freeze the frame and there it is, October 25th, 1978. That makes him 46 years old today. Suddenly, the bad back, the dad jokes, the constant groaning all make sense. He is not just tired, he is middle-aged. The show never mentions his age, so this tiny detail feels like reading someone's diary without permission. Bandit hides it well, but that license tells the truth. Behind the playful dad games is a man edging closer to 50. 5. The trees that wouldn't stay put. Watch the episode Tradies closely. At first, 2 trees stand far apart in the healer backyard. Nothing strange there, but a few scenes later, they have somehow moved closer together, like they crept in while nobody was looking. No wind, no chainsaws, no explanation. The show never mentions it. Maybe the animators goofed, or maybe the trees are alive and just tired of standing still. Imagine Bluey's family sleeping while the yard slowly rearranges itself each night. That smiling house could be sitting in the middle of a forest that is secretly planning its next move. 6. Scars on the squash court. In the episode Squash, Bandit and Stripe battle it out on the court like it is life or death. But look past the action for a second. The walls tell another story. They are covered in gray smudges and black streaks, exactly like real squash courts that have survived years of players smashing the ball too hard. Someone on the animation team cared enough to add that detail, even though most people never noticed. It makes you wonder how many games have been played there before Bandit showed up, or if those marks belong to players who never left. 7. The lamp that healed itself. Something odd happens in Bluey's room. In sleepy time, her bedside lamp looks a little wrong. The shade tilts like it survived a hurricane, sitting there all crooked while everyone pretends nothing happened. Then comes the Easter episode. Suddenly, the lamp is straight, perfect, like it spent months in therapy and came back brand new. Nobody mentions it. No dramatic repair scene. It just quietly heals itself between episodes. Maybe the animators fixed a mistake, or maybe this lamp lives a secret life when the cameras stop rolling, tidying itself up so we do not ask too many questions. 8. Pokemon in the toy pile. In the episode Mr. Monkey Jocks, the healer toy room looks like the usual mountain of dolls, blocks, and chaos. But stare into the corner for a moment. Sitting there quietly is a little green creature with a tree on its back. That is no random toy. It looks suspiciously like Torterra from Pokemon, as if it wandered in from another universe and decided to stay. Nobody points it out. The kids never play with it. It just sits there, a silent guest from a completely different show, hiding in plain sight like it knows something we do not. 9. Barrels from nowhere. In On the Road, Bluey talks about a game where you leap over exploding barrels. It sounds random until you realize this is a perfect nod to the classic Donkey Kong arcade game. That is right, the one where a giant ape throws barrels while a tiny hero jumps for his life. The show never names it. Kids watching probably have no idea. But for anyone who grew up battling those pixelated barrels, this line lands hard. It means somewhere in Bluey's cheerful world, there might be a gorilla with construction issues waiting to ruin somebody's day. 10. Moon phases and trash day. In the episode Bin Night, Bluey somehow cracks the entire trash schedule just by watching the moon. Full moon means one type of garbage. Half moon, something else. Nobody tells her that. She just pieces it together like a tiny detective with too much free time. It is never explained how she links moonlight to recycling, but she solves the mystery with total confidence. The adults barely notice. Meanwhile, Bluey is out there connecting astronomy and sanitation like it is the most normal thing ever. Either she is a genius, or the garbage men follow a very spooky calendar. 11. The belt that came from nowhere. Something sneaky happens in bin night. Early on, Bluey wears a white karate belt like a total beginner. Then, a few scenes later, she suddenly has a yellow belt tied neatly around her waist. Nobody mentions training. There is no practice montage, no proud ceremony, nothing. It just appears, which means months must have passed without a word. Either Bluey mastered karate while we blinked, or time inside this episode jumps forward in massive chunks. The family keeps playing like everything is normal, while Bluey casually shows up as a new belt level like it is no big deal. 12. The peacock glitch. In Magic Asparagus, Bandit waves the asparagus wand and turns into a peacock. Feathers, colors, the whole deal. But if you slow the episode down, there is one frame where his big peacock spot jumps from his back to the middle of his chest. It happens so fast, you would never notice unless you were watching in slow motion like some animation detective. 1 second it is correct, the next it is all wrong. Then it is fixed again. Maybe it was a mistake. Or maybe that peacock had power. The animators were not ready to explain yet. 13. The fridge that spilled the tea. In the episode blocks, the camera drifts past Grandma's fridge for just a moment. Most people see magnets, scribbles, the usual mess. But look closer. There is a photo of Frisky and Rad together, smiling like a couple on vacation. At the time, the show had not even hinted they were dating. Yet here it is, taped to the fridge for everyone to see, silently shouting the truth months before the story confirmed it. Either Grandma knew everything from the start, or that fridge has been sitting on spoilers this whole time, waiting for sharp eyes to notice. 14. A Powerpuff surprise hiding in Dad's belly. During a wild hospital play session, Bandit gets operated on, and out comes a weird little purple octopus. It seems random, but look closer. That toy looks exactly like Mr. Octi, Bubbles' stuffed friend from the Powerpuff Girl. Yep, that one. So what's he doing inside Bluey's dad? Maybe Bandit watched too much Cartoon Network as a pup, or maybe it's the animators sneaking in a little nostalgia bomb for grown-ups. Either way, this blink and you miss it moment hides a 90s cartoon crossover in Bandit's gut. What else is that dog storing in there? 15. The tiny Sherlock. In Brownie Bear, Bingo takes detective work very seriously. She throws on the classic Sherlock Holmes hat, grabs a lollipop like it is her detective fee, and starts interrogating suspects with total confidence. The pipe is gone, obviously, but the attitude is all there. The show never says, "Hey look, it's Sherlock," yet the hat, the serious tone, the little clues on the wall give it away instantly. For a few minutes, Bingo stops being a kid and turns into the greatest detective in London, or at least the backyard, solving mysteries no one else in the family even notices exist. 16. Shadows in the office. In Brownie Bear, Bandit runs his detective game like it came straight out of a black and white crime film. The room is full of maps and papers tacked to the walls. The blinds cut the light into stripes, and shadows stretch across the floor like something bad just happened off screen. It looks nothing like a kid's playroom, and everything like a scene where a mysterious woman walks in asking for help. The show never points it out, but the whole setup screams classic noir. For a moment, Bandit stops being a dad and turns into a tired detective chasing ghosts. 17. Honey's room confirms she's a wizard. If you scan Honey's room carefully, the clues jump out like a Hogwarts acceptance letter. There's an owl statue, a flying broomstick, and a blue striped scarf that looks suspiciously like Ravenclaw colors. On the wall, there's even a wizard zooming above a castle, just in case it wasn't obvious enough. While no one ever says the words Harry Potter, this setup doesn't leave much room for doubt. Honey isn't just organized and bookish. She's basically the Hermione of Bluey. All she's missing is a wand and a dog-shaped Patronus. Probably already has both. 18. The book that wouldn't leave. In Unicourse, Bandit uses a pink book with a unicorn on the cover while telling his wild bedtime story. It seems like a one-time thing, just another random prop in the chaos. But then, in the episode Bingo 3000, there it is again, sitting quietly near the TV like it never left. Same cover, same color, same smug little unicorn staring out. Nobody reads it this time. It just lurks in the background, moving from story to story like it owns the place. Either the healers have one very stubborn book, or that unicorn refuses to stop haunting them. 19. The dark side of the bone. In the episode Weekend, Chili goes for a run with her music player strapped to her arm. For a split second, the screen lights up, showing the album art. At first glance, it looks exactly like Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon cover, the one with the rainbow shooting through a prism. But here, the prism is gone, replaced by a giant dog bone like it belongs on some rock album for canines. Nobody points it out. The scene moves on fast. Still, it means somewhere in Bluey's world, classic rock bands might be full of barking lead singers. 20. The Bat Dog Rises. In one episode, Bluey runs around at night, playing until her shadow stretches across the yard. Then it hits the moon, and for a moment, the shape looks exactly like the bat symbol from the 1989 Batman movie. Same pose, same dramatic glow, just with floppy ears instead of pointy ones. Nobody in the show notices. The game keeps going like nothing happened. But that quick scene means Gotham's Dark Knight might secretly exist in Bluey's world, or at least some bat-themed superhero dog does. Maybe he is out there now, solving crimes with tennis balls and chew toys. 21. The Flamingo Queen. In the episode Cousin Sleepover, Muffin is so sleep-deprived she can barely stand. She climbs onto a toy cart, zooms across the yard, and smashes straight into a flamingo pool toy. Then she declares at full volume, "I am queen!" The whole thing feels wild and random until you remember Lisa Simpson yelling, "I am the Lizard Queen" in that classic Simpsons episode. Same energy, same chaos, just swapped into dog form. Nobody explains it. The kids keep playing like nothing happened, while the grown-ups ignore the royal meltdown happening right there in the backyard kingdom of flamingos. 22. The Secret Hamster. During the episode Statues, the camera sweeps across the floor full of toys like usual, but hiding near the armchair is a tiny orange hamster with round ears and big eyes. It is not just any hamster. It looks almost identical to Hamtaro from the early 2000s anime, the one with endless energy and way too much cuteness. The show never mentions it. Nobody plays with it. It just sits there quietly, like it wandered in from another cartoon and decided to stay. If the toys in Bluey ever come alive, that little hamster will definitely start leading the charge. 23. The Berry-Scented Stranger. In the episode Statues, Bingo holds a small doll with bright clothes and a giant hat that looks way too familiar. It is never named, but anyone who grew up in the 80s knows that face. It is almost a copy of Strawberry Shortcake, the doll line that smelled like dessert and ruled toy stores for years. The show never points it out, but there she is, hanging out in a universe full of dogs like she belongs. No strawberries, no cakes, just a silent cameo from a plastic legend who probably has no idea how she got there. 24. The Whale with Bad Aim. In Whale Watching, the Healer family turns their living room into an ocean, with Bandit as the boat and Chili playing the giant whale. Everything is fun until Chili launches herself in a huge leap over the boat, perfectly copying the famous scene from Free Willy. In the movie, the whale clears the rocks and swims to freedom. Here, Chili does not stick the landing. She crashes straight down on Bandit, sinking the entire ship. No heroic music, no slow motion, just one dad flattened under a failed movie tribute while the kids cheer like it was all planned. 25. Raiders of the Lost Backyard. In the episode Yoga Ball, Bandit rolls a giant ball across the yard while the kids run screaming. It looks like simple fun until the ball starts chasing Bandit instead, picking up speed while he scrambles to get away. The scene copies the famous boulder chase from Indiana Jones. Raiders of the Lost Ark almost frame for frame, except this version has fewer whips and way more barking. Bandit does not get treasure at the end. He just gets flattened by a giant yoga ball, while his kids laugh like they just watched their dad lose to ancient ruins. That closes out today's hunt for Bluey's hidden secrets. But here's the question. If you spotted a new Easter egg tomorrow, would you tell everyone, or keep it to yourself to see who notices? Start the debate below and subscribe so you never miss a single reveal.